Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if any ladies are really watching us. I know sometimes NBA Live Girl used to check us out, so shout outs to her if she happens to see this. I know it's probably only a few of you watching right now. You know, we always do like this little pre-banter while we wait for some viewers to kick up in there. I see already Irv Gotti as well as our good buddy Sim Gaming Network is already out there watching. So hello to you all. But me and Smitty will get right to it, man. Y'all know the theme. Y'all know the topic tonight. We're really well. First, let me welcome you guys to the show. We're back this week. Every time we tell you, every time, and I'll take a lot of the blame for it. But every time we say, "All right, we back into the groove," then we end up missing a week. But I told y'all, man, y'all have been rocking with me and Smitty for a long time, and over that time, things have evolved and changed. Our lives are a little different, so sometimes things come up on Thursday night. Forgive us. I mean, what are we gonna do? Like I said, if we were, if I mean, for lack of a better term, I don't even want to use the first take reference, but if me and Smitty was doing this pod like that, and that's what we did on our day to day, and that's what brought in the bacon, if you will, then we'd be way more consistent. But again,
yeah,
y'all got to understand, we're regular guys, we're average Joes, that's like you guys. We do this stuff in our leisure and hobby time, so sometimes we're gonna miss weeks. But I think y'all understand that, But I always want to say that because every now and then you'll get a message from someone, man, what y'all doing? Da 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 da. I'm just being real with y'all, man. We have life and sometimes other things that are a little more important that pops up that might have a skip a show. So we do apologize for last week, but we're here tonight. So hopefully y'all will enjoy. Welcome to the latest episode of the Sim Standard Power Hour. I am Sim. He is Smitty. Of course, y'all know that. And we definitely want to talk about this recent news that has come out about Madden 24. We're going to give a huge shout out to Mike Straw. Just like Eric Rayweather said in his video, Mike and SGO, those guys over there, seems like when they get a leak, that is what it is. I love those type of leaks. That's kind of like the NFL stuff, right, Smitty? Like when Shefty or somebody says it, that's what it is.
yeah.
Mike Straw is becoming that over the last couple years here when it comes to Madden news. So we're going to talk about that. But what we're also going to talk about is my man E is in the building. What's up, Eric?
Yep.
Eric Rayweather in the building, man.
You
Checking
ready?
us out. We're going to talk about that, but we're going to reference Maximum Football at some point. I was just telling Smitty off mic, man, that probably should have been the lead topic because we'll get into it. But outside of that, Smitty, before we dive in, how's everything? How was your week? Anything you want to get into? I almost have a feeling that you might have an opinion on AllStar weekend.
Oh man. I'll just say real quick, man. AllStar weekend was trash, dude. I mean, I retweeted what people shared about it and everything like that, and it's like it cracks me up. Like, what was it? These past few years, you've seen records broken for the amount of points scored. Then Jason Tatum scores 55. It's like it was a meaningless 55 points, dude. Like it's not like he was balling. It's not like they were going at it. Like that's the wild thing about it. All-Star weekend is supposed to literally be that. These guys are supposed to compete and showcase why they're there, why they're an all-star.
I remember what Kobe said years ago about how he felt about that. For you guys that don't know, basically Kobe was saying, look, man, this is supposed to be a showcase, a pickup game of the elite talent, and people want to see that. They don't want to see nonsense. So that's paraphrasing, but
yeah.
But
that's basically it, though. It's like people want to see, you want to see LeBron James going at it against Tatum and against these guys. If you got Jaylen Brown going against Tatum, they need to be going. You know what I mean? Like they need to be going at it. And it's like they're not going after it at all. They're just haphazardly doing it. And it's like a glorified layup line. And I mean, look, same thing with the dunk contest and all that stuff. People worried about getting injured and all that. Ain't no way in the world you're gonna tell me Mac McClung. Don't get me wrong, he did his thing. He did his thing.
Yes, he did.
Nothing took away from him. But there's no way in the world that he should be able to enter that dunk contest. There's no way on top of that they should say, oh, ooh, he saved the dunk contest. How the heck he saved it? A guy who just got on an NBA team 5 minutes ago saved the dunk contest? Like, come on, that's crazy. And I mean, listen, miss me with the injuries and all that stuff. Jordan tore his ACL tear, came back, and he entered the contest like another 3 times after that injury happened. I don't want to hear any of that. Oh, well, players worried about if they lose and all that stuff. Man, you better get the heck out of here with all that stuff. How many times Jordan won 2 dunk contests? He entered it 5 times. Dominique entered 5 contests, only won twice. Spud Webb, he won it once. He entered it 3 times, like 3 or 4 times or whatever. Like, you see what I'm saying? They're not. Everybody is not going to always win. That's just it. Well, I'm not going to enter it if I'm not going to win it. Like, that's dumb, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So yeah, no. All-Star Weekend is a wash. If players aren't going to play with passion, just let it go. And one last thing I want to say, and then we can throw it to you. Guys need to chill with the whole era debates. Honestly, especially just because it's a NBA player that's saying it, it doesn't mean it's gospel.
Right.
Now, JJ Redick, tons of experience and knowledge. Larry Bird, somebody posted a video where they basically took Larry Bird footage trying to run through screens, get away from defenders. And I mean, he was getting pulled on, jersey literally getting pulled, hands on, all that stuff and everything, trying to fight through screens and run around. And he was saying, oh, he doesn't have it nearly the same as Steph Curry did. It's like he literally shown footage of the exact same problems Larry Bird had that Steph had. And now JJ makes tons of valid points. I'm not taking any of that away from him. It's just that was a mistake there. But then the one that really got me was Gilbert Arenas when he was saying Bill Laimbeer wouldn't be able to play in this era because all he did was hit. He that is not all he did was hit. He wouldn't have made it to the NBA if that's all he did. You know, I'm like, and people made a variety of points too. What about Kevin Love? Kevin Love been able to hang in this NBA. You think Bill Laimbeer, with his skill set in his best shape, best prime, would not be able to hang in this NBA? Yeah, he would. You know what I'm saying? Joker, he's about to be. He possibly could be a 3-time MVP.
Man.
Is he the walking epitome of being in shape as an NBA player? No. But at the same time, he got the touch. He got the finesse. He knows how to play around the basket. Bill Laimbeer knows how to play around the basket. Bill Laimbeer knows how to shoot from outside as well. You think he wouldn't be able to do that? Now, his stats clearly are on the lower end because in that era, 3-ball wasn't like that for a team to be shooting it like that. But the point of the matter is, what do you think would happen if he was playing in this era? Just saying. So it's like, don't get it all twisted and everything. And plus, understand this, no disrespect to Gil and everything like that, but he also got busted by a player that was in the 80s, John Stockton. Played against the Warriors when he was 39, and he dropped 25 and 9 on them. And Gil was playing in that game too, and he put up decent numbers in that game as well. But the point is, you played against a guy that played through the 80s and the 90s and in your era. And he busted you literally a year before he retired. So to sit up, so it's like you got to be mindful of what you're talking about and what you're saying. Like, oh, these guys wouldn't be able to. I wouldn't necessarily say that. So just, temper that, keep that in mind. That's why I'm like, if you're going to do the era discussion, you could have the era discussion. But like what Dominique said, if you're going to bring up the eras, that's fine. But don't crap on us. You know what I mean? Like we don't have you don't have to crap on what we did to try and put what you got going on up. You can still make your points without having to do that. And that's a very valid point. You can make all those points. And you don't have to, everybody can be respected at the end of the day. The old era worked this way, y'all worked that way. These are the differences, but that doesn't mean that there's no level of toughness. You know what I'm saying? Because Dominique was talking about that. He was like, you kidding me? We played, dudes could grab you to slow you down, use their elbow to redirect you, like strong elbow and all that stuff. Like, you can't do that in today's game. You're like, exactly. So there are differences that got to be respected there. So, but no, man. All in all, I mean, look, watch the rest of the NBA season, and after that, really just see what happens with NFL free agency and then the draft.
Yeah.
The combine and the draft will be here before we know it. So I'll throw it to
Matter
you,
of
brother.
fact, the combine ought to be what? So isn't it usually February? Is it coming up?
I honestly don't know. I mean, February about to be done.
That's what I'm saying. And,
so
unless I'm crazy, you guys in the chat, the combine is usually in February. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. I don't know if it's because, again, some of y'all know this, some of y'all don't. My wife and I, we're building a new house, and we're counting the weeks as they roll by. It's supposed to be done on April 14th, maybe sooner. So the weeks are like a blur. And the reason why I say that is because I didn't even realize it was All-Star weekend until Friday. Last week, I said, dang, is it? I ain't been paying attention like that. So I say that to say the combine might be happening this week. I don't know. Or next week. I just know it's usually February.
It's Tuesday. Starts
Tuesday.
There you
go. That makes sense. Yeah.
Tuesday, and it goes through Monday, March 6th.
There you go.
Yep.
So I was about to say, man, I knew it's usually in February. So yeah. I appreciate that, Kendall. Yeah, man. It's some of you guys has been following me on the Steelers side, know the whole story. It's been such a, Lord have mercy, man, such a trying process. It went from us finding a home, getting ready to close on it. We found out a week or two before closing some undisclosed information about the home. Was able to back out of that one, and then we had gotten to a point, man, where we were just tired of looking, and we went back to the new build option, and here we are. We're almost at the end of the road, man. So, but yeah, these weeks are blurred. Like as you can imagine, like I told you guys, in the chat, I was like, in the background, this is our domain. We live in, blessed to do it. We're living in mother-in-law's basement here. But yeah, that's why y'all see me in this funny chair. Let me show y'all. Look. I can't wait to get back, Smitty, into a gaming chair or office chair. This thing be tearing me up. But yeah, man. So the months and weeks, and that's why some of the times too, guys, that I've missed, that extensive long time me and Smitty was away. Just so happened a lot of stuff we had to do on Thursday nights, like meeting with the builder and stuff like that. So these weeks have been a blur. We're just trying to count them down. Let's get through February, get through March, so we can get back in our own environment sooner than later. But man, let's talk about Madden. And I'm sure this conversation is going to go back and forth several times with Smitty and myself. I'm going to start it off with how I feel first, and instead of leading up to it, I'm going to give you my full thoughts as I've been able to sit back and collect my thoughts. I saw the article come out. Of course, I saw my man Eric's video. He did the follow-up video to the article posted by Mike Straw. And just like Eric said, man, at this point, if Mike Straw and SGO says it, it's happening. Remember last year that every single aspect of what they talk about that leaked was what was in the game. I will tell y'all this now. I can't say that for right now, and even if I did, I wouldn't tell y'all because again, there's still it's just honor amongst myself that certain things I'm just not going to do. I'm not going to do because I'm not built like that. But I could tell y'all this now about last year. I very quickly found out that those leaks were true. After Mike Straw mentioned it, I still have people I talked to in the building, and they was like, yeah, that's what's happening. That was a real document. But like I said, can't say that about this year. Haven't spoken to anyone, and even if I have, I wouldn't tell y'all that right now because I'm just honorable like that. I'm not, me leaking information does nothing for me. You understand what I'm saying? So let me say this. And I know people who have watched me and Smitty for many years are probably going to hear this statement that I say here and be like, not again. But I really have context around it this time. This truly might be the make or break Madden. The reason why I'm saying that is because now I feel like they have put their own bluff on the table. They got to call their own bluff. If what Mike Straw is saying is true, if there's internal pressure or pressure from someone that governs, let's say EA Sports umbrella or Madden itself, if there's really, and listen, let's continue to say if, but if that really is the case, that people's jobs, people who manage the game's jobs could be on the line if the game continues to fail and have a showing like it did for Madden 23, that is unlike anything else we've ever seen before at EA. I've never seen or heard anything of that nature for as long as I had been dealing with EA. And I said had because, I haven't been in that building in which game? Last one I was there for was 19, I think. It was either 18 or 19. So needless to say, and regardless of the pandemic and all that, I haven't been that closely associated like I once was before. I still know people in the building, obviously. I'm still a part of this, this whole, it's a certain thing that they have. They call you a creator, whatever. Y'all don't need to know all those details, but I'm not as closely connected as I once was. I've been telling y'all that for years. I told y'all when that was going to probably start changing. But for all of them years, since 2012, when me and Smitty and Azure first went to EA Sports, I've never heard any mention of that in that building where possible people who manage the game could have their jobs threatened if they don't make or produce a solid product. That is different. Again, have you heard this before with us coming in here saying, man, this has got to be the year? Yes, but what we're going to do, we don't make the game. All we can do as consumers is sit and wait and see if they deliver. But this information, matter of fact, let's put my man Eric's comment on screen here. And I'll be honest with y'all too, man. Y'all might see me squint and stuff a little bit. I went to the eye doctor like 2 hours ago, and my joints are still dilated, man. So, some of this stuff look like, especially with the light. Oh God. So I got to get up close and personal to read it. He says, them threatening jobs, in my opinion, means the NFL isn't happy. Otherwise, why would that be their attitude towards things? Why would this game be any more make or break than the previous ones? Man, I agree with that. Matter of fact, let me just leave it on the screen for some of y'all to read. I agree with that. Like, if just imagine that again, what Mike Straw is saying and reporting. Imagine if that's true. Now we got people threatening the management of the game. So, Smitty, to me, that sounds like, oh, does this mean now the suits or the governing body is like, yo, do what you got to do? Yo, this game has to be it. And that's everything from now. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. It's not like they can fix everything in a year. But what it would mean is connectivity and all of that stuff. They definitely can't have that problem. All of the stuff that's broken in the game, they can't have that. They can't have the broken franchises and all that. But on top of that, they have to produce a game that people want, meaning gameplay, franchise, all of that. Again, I'm not saying every single thing we've been asking for would be done in a cycle, but I am saying that you would see a really solid offering. That's what that sounds like to me. And for them to say if it doesn't happen in this game, they're not allowing another game or two, this could be interesting. Very interesting. I've never heard any type of talks like this. Never. So I don't know. What do you think, Smitty? I mean, that's just my thoughts. Again, I don't know what it means as far as what type of features or the full extent of what that statement means. All I do know is Smitty works somewhere, right? I work somewhere. And most of y'all work well, some of y'all don't. You know, E. Rayweather worked for himself. But I don't know. Eric might work too somewhere else. I don't know. But all I know is if you were working for somewhere and you heard internally that, look, something got to be done about X, Y, and Z, or there's going to be some changes, what would that mean at your job? So, hold on. Look at my man in the building tonight, man. My man, Kia. What's up, Kia? What's going on, brother? Let's read Kia's comment too. I will read my good buddy Y Diggy's comment as well. That's one of my still a faithful right there. And then, I definitely want to hear Smitty's thoughts. NY Kia says, I'd wager that no one in the sim world has played this game more over the past 10 years than me. I couldn't play 22 or 23. They continue to rip out the core of the game for the masses. Man, Kia, you are so spot on. And here's the funny thing. I'm contemplating on whether or not I want to release it. I recorded a clip the other night because I will play the game every now and then just to see what I could pull from it. It's so crazy that there's so many instances in 23 that you're like, okay, this game has the capability. What's handcuffing this? What mixed signals are y'all doing underneath the hood that allows this to happen sometimes and allows that crazy thing to happen sometimes? You see where the foundation could be. You see, like what Kia said, the core game that they were building towards, some of that is still there, but then, and it gets to the point, it's like, is it worth it? Because it's like, I was going to make the video and title it, you're going to get your, matter of fact, I'm going to put it out. You're going to get your best experience in Madden offline. Offline. Against a user, forget about it. It's too much stuff that happens. I mean, the user input override is insane, man. It's insane. Like, it's if they could make the game respect positioning like it does offline, and I'm not going to say 100%, but I'll show y'all in that video. Little things like that would make the game way better. Because there's guys who still can click on and do a quick zip and pick off. Like, some of that ball placement stuff is negated because of user input when you're playing against a user. So if you want to get a football fix and have a semi-decent experience, Sim Gaming Network is in here. I'm sure he knows what I'm saying. You got to play offline to get any enjoyment of a current day product. But I don't want to keep rambling. Let me read Y Diggy's comment, and then I'm going to throw it to my good brother Smitty, because I know he has a lot to say He says, should I believe what EA is trying to sell us here? EA has, as a whole, does have the best track record. And is the NFL putting that pressure on them? Also, does it open the door fully for 2K? Your comment, Why Diggy, makes me almost go in another direction slightly. Could this be EA selling us, like my pops used to say, wolf tickets? Some of y'all might know what that old statement means. They might be selling wolf tickets, man. Like, you never know when it comes to business. Hey, let's make it seem like we're mad, and let's produce a pretty solid product, and then everybody's happy. Could be. But also, I think there's truth to the second statement. It probably made Smitty smile, because Smitty has been saying this since day one, since we found out that 2K was going to have an NFL game of some sort. Smitty has continued to say, man, you know what? This could open the door. If the NFL, it could. And honestly, I hope it's the latter. I hope it is that that somehow the NFL is caught wind, and they're like, look, we're a little fed up with the way people are talking about a game that has our shield on it. I hope it's that. I'm sorry, EA, but y'all know me. I have no bias. I have no alliance to no company. I am a gamer and a consumer. I want the best possible simulation football game that I can play. That's all I ask for as a guy who is no longer 20 years old. We're a little older now. We just want to be able to play our games and enjoy ourselves. And why is it always the football game that I have the biggest problem with? Why? Knowing I am the diehard football man, why is it always my football game that I gotta hope I can have the same experience that I have in these other products? So,
yeah.
Let me stop talking, man. Smitty, please chime in. What are your overall thoughts, man, on what Mike Straw is saying, and from what you and I both know, that building inside and out? How do you read these things if they're true?
I mean, the statements, honestly, they don't mean anything until EA shows it, not just with the articles, not just with the trailers, but also post-launch. You know, if it's really, truly, truly like that, that's what they got to come with, if that's the case. If EA doesn't deliver, then that's going to be mud in AI. Because at the end of the day, you already said years ago, remember the rededication to the franchise mode and everything that EA said back then with Madden, what was it? Excuse me, 18-19. It was supposed to have this dedication to the franchise mode. And we got the article back then.
Was that the same one that they said the best changes ever or something?
No. That was Madden. That was 17. That was 17 with that marketing, talking about this is the deepest franchise. No. Most franchise improvements and all that. Like, no. Not by a country mile. I'm saying, did y'all do that?
Oh my God. Man.
So it's like you market that in Madden 17, because I remember you have Mike Golick and them doing the ad and everything for it and all that. So it's that. Then dedication. You got the what was that, Mike Young, right? When he was the head guy.
That was my man too. Shout out to Mike.
And he was the one sitting there saying, man, we rededicated the franchise mode, full dedication. We're going to build it out. It's going to be a live service, all that. All these things. Sean Grady, fixed Madden franchise, sitting up there on the video. Man, we hear y'all. We got stuff coming. We're working on it right now. It's going to be coming out for the beta and blah, 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 blah. Everything is a dud. Now y'all saying, oh, well, now we're going for the jugular If it doesn't hit this time, we're calling for jobs. You know how many people in this community have been calling for folk jobs at EA for years and years and years, over a decade plus, multiple console generations calling for their jobs. So it's like y'all just now saying that.
Like, yeah, now all of a sudden they doing it.
Yeah, now
we've been calling it.
Right.
But now y'all doing it.
Now y'all saying
it. Come on, man. Y'all need to cut
you
it
know
out.
What I mean? So it's like now y'all saying it.
Wolf tickets.
It's supposed to be, and look, we got to make this experience. We focus on the offline experience. What was franchise mode supposed to be then? All them years. You know what I'm saying? That's my whole point. It's supposed, you said it, what, Madden 17. You said it 2016. That's the most deepest franchise mode to date. Most franchise mode improvements to date. That's what y'all promote. If I can find the box, I'll see if I can find the box and pull that up to the camera. But if I see that, I'm going to. But anywho, y'all said y'all had all these improvements and everything. And I mean, listen, all funny stuff aside, if EA is honestly doing it, I feel there's two key reasons if they're doing it. It ain't because no franchise saves. Y'all done had catastrophic bugs happen many a times over the years. Y'all ain't batting eyebrow. Y'all ain't flex an eyebrow or batting eyelash, or I should say, excuse me. Y'all ain't do a darn thing. Y'all, okay, well, we gonna do emergency maintenance, emergency downtime. Okay, and that's it. And y'all kept it trucking. Now all of a sudden, 24. This is the one. Coincidentally, depending upon how the game is delivered, as we already spoke on, but NFL 2K is supposed to put their football game out this year. So if their game is legit, we don't know how it's going to be or anything, but if it's legit, there's that. I feel that is the threat numero uno, like, honestly. I'm not going to put that much weight on it, but at the same time, you got Maximum Football and what they're doing.
Hey, man, let me tell you something.
And it doesn't look bad. It looks good. Okay?
I'm going to pull up the trailer.
And let me tell you, them having early access makes me believe they're coming out with it on Steam first, even though it's free to play. So if it actually is going to hit, and then you got 2K and what they're doing, I'm just saying, especially if 2K has a legit game that can possibly swing the pendulum in 2K's favor a bit over EA, and you know they're going to have microtransactions of some sort, but I'm just saying, if it's on point, guess what? Mutt gonna start losing some of that money. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna pour it right on in it. You got people playing NBA 2K right now, buying packs and bundles to get AllStar Weekend Edition Mac McClung. The brother just made a roster. You see what I'm saying? And that's the kind of thing they're doing. Y'all, yeah, if EA gonna do something, you gotta come on with it. And no, we don't know nothing about NBA. I mean, not NBA, about the new NFL 2K. We'll find out about it when they, excuse me, actually put something out.
The week before they launch. Y'all know how 2K do.
Right. Yeah, pretty much. They may, heck, knowing how some games come out now, they may just drop it out of nowhere and it just be there. So who knows? But I'm just saying, don't let these games come up and be legit. Because I'm telling you right now, if these games become more and more legit, these will build up into you. Folk may sit up here and laugh and say, man, that Maximum Football ain't never going to be. Let this game build up and become something legit.
We came a long way. I know that.
Yeah, is if they stay with it and this game becomes something solid for real, you'll end up seeing this maximum football with NFL licensing, with the actual players as a part of it. You don't know what'll happen. You never know. What if 2K actually comes? What if 2K? Well, no, 2K got their own game, but I was just gonna say, like, what if a studio were to purchase this? What if Sony bought it and said, "Yo, we're gonna get the NFL back and more developing, more funding, more etc." And they could really build it out. I mean, heck, golf club, got picked up by 2K, and that's the NFL. I mean, the NFL. That's the PGA 2K game now. You see what I'm saying? So he said, problem is, how long would it be coming to do legit? You're right. And you're right about it, SGO. That's the whole thing. But see, with this game coming out free to play off top, though, and them having an early access to it, this game could possibly get feedbacked and modified to be in a much cleaner position than what we're seeing. I don't know. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see, man. I really don't know. I can't call it.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. But so we'll see. But I'm just saying though, the main thing, I'm not mainly banking on that game, but what I'm mainly banking on is what NBA 2K is going to do. And if 2K is doing something that will potentially pose a threat, they're gonna have to step it
that?
all the way up.
Why y'all didn't tell me the screen switched up? Street Fighter.
Yeah, so
right, one more time.
That's just what it is. But that's all I really got on it, Sim, man. I really don't have too much on it. I mean, EA, EA right now, it's just a smoke and mirrors play right now. And like what my man Kia said, and we say it all the time on here, Madden, the way we truly like the way the game plays, only sticks around for about a month max. You know what I'm saying? We love the beta. The beta was on point. Like,
Yeah, it
that's
was.
the game. They had something there, and they killed it. They killed it. They destroyed it with these updates and all that crap, man. It's like, what are y'all doing? Come on, man. So yeah, if EA serious for real about building this out, y'all better have a much bigger dev team. Y'all better give them all the resources necessary. And even then, it's not like they're going to get all of it in 1 year, like Sim said. But I'm saying, though, this year's game has to showcase a heck of a lot of promise. It can't be no empty, it can't be an empty shell of itself and really expect us to be down with it and follow it like, yo, man, this game is tight, blah, blah, blah. No, it's got to be hit. It's got to hit. You know what I mean? And it's got to be a relatively clean hit when it comes out. So, I mean, I'm optimistic, but I'm keeping my optimism as far open as possible as far as looking at Madden for what it is, and then especially looking at 2K for what it may be. We don't even know a street date. We don't know what quarter. We don't have any of that right now. Just that last year they said it was supposed to come out. What was it, like near the end of the NFL season or slightly after? They stopped it from happening. It's supposedly supposed to come out this year. So it's like, okay, so is it going to come out before the NFL season, during the NFL season? When? You know what I mean? So we just got to wait and see, man.
Yeah, King Arthur, just to answer you real quick, I'm going to support it. I supported Maximum Football. Trying to think which one. Maybe 2 years ago, I bought it and I played the game like, y'all want me to be honest? I played the game like 40 minutes. It was just, but I said I was going to do that just to support. I was like, here, I'll buy the game just to support it. I supported their effort. I hope that they would stick around and look at them now. Look at them now. They got a game studio that picked them up. They got the Unreal 5 engine. And I'm going to tell you, I'm starting to be attracted to this Unreal 5 engine. This Unreal 5 engine is looking like the new girl in the school.
Yeah.
When you like, yo, I see why everybody, she all right. Because if y'all like me, I used to pay attention to them like a couple months later. Because let me whisper to y'all. That used to be my game. Act like I ain't care at first. And then after everybody else done sweated them, then they trying to figure out why you not sweating them. So any of the young boys listening, that's a jewel I just dropped for you. But that's how the Unreal Engine is starting to look to me. Like, hey, I see you. Every game that I'm seeing is on this engine. It's looking kind of official. Like, so think about it. Look at the leap that they took. Now, of course, I'm sure over time, they've worked on the product. But I mean, look clearly how well it looks just on that engine. And they have a real studio backing them. So I'm happy for them. So yeah, I'm going to support them, and I'll give it this game, like Smitty said, is going to be on early access. It's going to be free to play initially, but I will buy the game when it comes out because why not? And I got whatever it costs to support them. Why not? I done spent my money on worse. I applaud the effort. So I definitely will support it. And it's like this, man. It's getting to the point, man. What's up, Tony? Tony, you know how we do, man. I got to drop them for the younger cats, man. The guys who can still go out there and play, Tony. We out the game. We out the game. All I could do is coach now. But it's like this, man. I'm getting to the point where it doesn't matter. Oh, Smitty is gonna kill me to say this.
What?
Y'all know this is gonna hurt my heart to say this, and my brother Tony knows how much we love football. But it's getting to the point, man, where it almost don't matter that I'm not playing Madden routinely.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that is because I've gotten to the point now where it's like it feels good for a moment early, like the beta, and you have these, this might be it. And then every time it never turns out to be what it should be for the duration of the year. You just saw NYKia posting in here earlier about, and he would know how they had certain coverages that they implemented back in Madden 18, and they started tinkering with them, and certain things have been broken. There were certain checks they had in the game at one time, like and then they stripped it down. And actually, Lord, sometimes you know too much. Let me just say this without saying it. Y'all notice this year they gave you the option to turn on match. Wasn't automatically there. It was by design. So let me say this without getting in trouble with somebody that I'm cool with, because again, I'm an honorable person. I ain't under no NDA or nothing like that. But it's conversations that you have with people that I'm just an honorable guy. I'm not gonna spread people, There was conversation before about some people thinking maybe because of and Kia's gonna know what I'm saying here, because of the masses of people who play Madden, there was conversation in the past about whether or not the coverage checks and rules and things like that were too complicated. Some people in the building thought from a gaming standpoint, it might be better to just produce base coverage and then give people the option to turn on match rules and things like that, which who I talked to at the time, I was like, okay, I see where you're going with that. So then for those guys who are strategic and we kind of understand rules and such, we could turn it on. Fine, I'm cool with that. But what got lost in that conversation too is there's just certain checks that are not in the game anymore, and it's kind of by design. because the complexity. And see, my argument to that would be more of the guy's name that's on the game. His intention was to teach football. And trust me when I say this, this is not, from the people I've talked to, this is not a straight up mind of a developer. I mean, listen, again, and I haven't been there in several years, so I don't know if everybody that I knew still works there. But some of the guys the core guys that I knew, a few guys that I still talk to, these dudes are football guys, football minds through and through. But sometimes when you get internal pressure and things like, and this is why I'm saying, guys, to bring it back full circle, this is why I'm saying, if these rumors are true about people's jobs being threatened, oh, I'm paying attention, because I know for a fact there is real football stuff that was brought to the table that didn't make it or got cut out. Go ask Rex Dixon. I'm just saying. So that's why, if this leaked information is true, it has my attention. SGO in here in the chat, he know what I'm saying. We've been there. We've seen the behind the scenes. You understand what I'm saying? So we know what really goes on to some degree with certain people in there. And so, yeah, just because of things that I've been privy to, if this information is, I'm not even gonna say if, because like I told you, not only do I rock with my man, the natural over there, but Mike Straw also of SGO has proven that when they release some information from their informed leak, it's real. So it has my attention. Does it have my attention as far as me thinking the game is going to be outstanding? No, they still got to prove that. But it has my attention because my mind is racing. I want to know where this pressure is really coming from. So, but it's unfortunate. I don't feel the same way I once did about Madden, man. I mean, I just don't. It's a disappointment to some degree. I give it credit for what it does well, but it's still just not. Every time I think they're taking that step, it's certain things that are still not, okay. So I love the passing mechanic of this year. I hope they never take free-form passing out of the game. I've been able to do some amazing things with free-form passing, even in the league that I play in. Do not get rid of that. But then there's other stuff that the AI still just is not where it needs to be. There's still too many stagnant two-man sequences in the game, particularly in the trenches. Things like that they still need to address. The depth in franchise mode is still not there. It's still bare bones. It's still copy and paste every year when you talk about things like the scenario engine that's now been in the game 3 years. Come on, man. Yeah. Let me read some of you guys' comments, man, while, look like Smitty stepped away for a second. Let me see what y'all got. My man Kia says, that'd be fine just as long as they're still there and work. Yeah. They had them really close to all correct with the quarter coverages. Again, y'all, I told y'all I had my eyes dilated like 2.5 hours ago, so I can some of this stuff I'm struggling to see. Quarters coverage stuff. Then an update came and it fell apart. Yeah, he's absolutely right, man. What Kia is saying here, I put it on the screen. King Arthur says, Sim, are there any real football elements that you could have been in the game that you could speak on? You know what? Before I say that, let me put my man SGO's comment up here. He says, are our old NDAs expired yet? We can make a really crazy video on topics from then to now. That kind of answers your question, King Arthur. A man natural knows, man. It's see, this is the thing that cracks me up about an NDA. Let me explain to you how they work. It's a non-disclosure agreement. Everybody knows that. But here's where it gets tricky, because it's supposed to cover anything that you hear, see, or talk about or what have you during a session. I have been going to EA long enough. SGO has been there a few times as well, to where things were talked about that were coming that haven't arrived. So there lies the so for those particular meetings, we were under NDA. Can I speak on some of these things? I don't know. I don't know. You see what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, and I'm just not a catty guy anyway. So again, I'm just not chatty patty. But it does bear that question. I wonder if some of this stuff I could talk about, and is the NDA expired? Because there are things that's still not in the game that were talked about when I were there. Again, I haven't been there, and I think I could be wrong, but I think the last game, yeah, it was 19. Y'all know how I know it was 19? You want me to tell you about something that's still not in the game? I won't tell you the feature, but I'll give you a hint. And I've told this story before. I won't give you a hint. I'll just give you the story. And I've told this before. When I was there working on Madden 19, they had myself, a few others. My boy Zan was there. If you guys know Zan, Madden Zan. There was a feature that they had us testing that was supposed to be for Madden 20. Listen to what I'm saying. We were there for Madden 19, giving feedback and testing Madden 19, but there was a particular feature that we were testing that was going to be for Madden 20. Now, before I get to the end of this story, I will tell you this. Myself, Zan, and a few others in the building was like, hey, y'all might want to make this happen in 19. Because we didn't feel like 19 had a big enough feature set to please anybody. We was like, however, this one thing right here could save it. Because this is kind of major. That was our vote when we walked out of that building. Didn't go through. It didn't happen in 19. But guess what else didn't happen? It did not happen in 20 either. Oh yeah, my man E might have been there. It ain't happened in 20. And Eric, it still ain't in the game. It's still not there. You see what I'm saying? So can I talk about that or not? Like I said, just the type of person I am, I'm not a blabbermouth. So I'm not gonna just come out here and just spill the tea and all of that. Because I hate talking about myself, but I'm not cut that way, right? I'm not from that type of cloth. But I don't know if I could talk about these things or not. But it's tricky though, and I'm sure Rayweather and others will understand what I'm saying. It's tricky, guys, because again, I think guys like myself, Eric, SGO, many others who've been in the building, we are the type of guys that can separate the two. We can separate the company from the person. There's quite a few guys in that building who are devs that I've built relationship with. They're good people, man. And this gaming stuff, because the game doesn't come out a certain way, it doesn't mean I don't like them or I'm going to go run off and just tell everything that they tell me, because we have a relationship. It ain't about the game no more. A couple of these dudes, like, we hung out. You know what I'm saying? Like, not just when I was there. I'm rolling with them to dinner and all of that. We out hanging because we cool on another level. Well, we chilling. We ain't even talking about the game. It's just like me talking to my man. It's a couple of them in there. That was my mans in them because I have been going there for so long. You know what I mean? So it's certain things just out of respect. I'm not going to just come out and guess what I heard. However, what SGO said, there's stuff that pertains specifically to the game and what we've heard from even guys higher up. if we ever could, we could make one mega video, boy. I tell you, boy, we could make a video that would blow the heads off. Y'all heads would blow off literally. Oh man. Yeah, my man E says, yeah, he remembered that. It was such a good feature. Man, won't it though? And it still ain't in the game, guys. Listen to what I'm saying. We tested the feature while at EA for Madden 19. The feature was for Madden 20. We all said this feature needs to be for Madden 19 because it wasn't a prototype. It was working. We're testing it. We're saying this could be pretty good. This is something that's kind of been missing from the game. They elected not to put it in 19, so we was all right. Well, we know what's coming for next year. And guess what? We're on Madden 23 and it's still not there. And that's, man, let me tell you. And there's a couple other things. I got a couple of them that if I was grimy, I got a couple of them. I got stuff. One last thing, Smitty, because I know we get new people watching us sometimes. I recall a feature one time that I was there for. I used to go sometimes as early as February, right? And in February, they give us the deck and they let us know this is what we're bringing to the table. Da, 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 da. Now, we want y'all to test it as in early stages. There have been features that was on the deck. I give feedback about it until I came back. I came back in April. And I was like, yo, how we coming along with da 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 da? Oh, man, we had to cut that. What? Yeah, we don't have enough people to finish it. I was like, man, stop. I said that was one of the pillars that was in. You stood up there and told us it was one of the biggest things. Yeah, we had to cut that. Another fun fact, because I'm crazy like this. I have it on I have a notepad around here somewhere that I used to take notes of the main things that was covered in that February. I have it. It's in here. It's in storage probably somewhere, but I have the listing and that feature is still on it. They had a prototype for it and everything, and it never made it to the game. Still ain't there. You know what, Smitty? I'm feeling froggy tonight. I'm feeling froggy. I'm gonna ask my man. You know what? I'm gonna ask some guys that I trust, and if y'all tell me to do it, I'm gonna do it. SGO and E-Ray. If you knew about something that say Rex wanted to do that hasn't been done, would you tell it right now? That can't be a part of NDA. I don't know.
We already did that, Sim.
No, but it's a couple. It's a thing that I know for sure that I don't think we talked about that, because I remember one of these times in LA, he said, look, we either thinking about doing this next year or doing that next year. What you think? And me and my man Shop was standing right there in LA talking to him, and we was like, y'all need to do that. And they have not done that yet.
Yeah.
I don't know. Depending on what it is, I might clear it. Yeah. See, that's why you're my man. Because that's what I used to always say on here, SGO. I used to always say, nah, man, it's stuff that me and Rex had a bond like that too. So I'm not gonna spill it. I'm gonna leave it. Cause see, I gotta be real about it. I hate doing it. This is not a teaser thing, guys, but y'all know we real with y'all too. So I try to be as real as I could be, but
man. Well, okay. Well, no, I mean it ain't saying nothing wrong. Look, hold on, wait. There shouldn't be no problem with it in the first place. Number one, Rex works for Blizzard now. He working on Diablo Flow in New York. He ain't touching EA, so you ain't got to worry about no, man. But me and Rex talked about, you know what I'm saying? That's one thing. Secondly, And I get that. I get it. But at the same time, I'll spill some dang on beans on some stuff because there's stuff that happened on 360 that ain't come out yet. So it don't matter at this point. They had it where they was literally able, they had a system in there where they were literally able to train running backs how to run. They could input the commands. So when you played against the CPU, it was literally like playing another user. That was in the game.
Real
when
QB.
we were there and we came back.
Remember?
Yeah, because they did the running backs first, and they were going to be doing the quarterbacks, and they gutted it out. When we came, no, we didn't even come back to the studio yet, and it was like, yeah, that feature there, yeah, we had to take it out. I'm like, dog, do you understand what would have happened?
Oh gosh.
And see, look. And then we talking about we complaining about the QB play in Madden 23. That was freaking Madden. That was Madden 25.
And them QBs was lighting us up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like y'all had it on Gen 3 and you gutted it before the game even dropped. And that's prior to next gen. So then what Rex wanted to do, I will say this from what Rex wanted to do.
I'm gonna give another one too. I'm gonna say it because it's light. Rex wouldn't care about this.
He wanted to do, I mean, he called it player code. He wanted to do that.
That's it.
And he really wanted to make it about individuality, but in a more bored out fashion, not just these superstar stuff you see going on right now. I'm talking about legitimately building it out. He wanted to get hand sizes and wingspans in the game. So that way, when it came to dudes reaching for the ball and going for those receptions, you could jump at the same time, but if that wingspan wasn't there and that ball is at that point, it's hitting. He wanted to make all those elements really, truly matter that are legitimately measured in the NFL. And he wanted to do that in the game. So, and that's something.
Dog.
And it didn't get realized. And then, we told y'all about Kobe when Kobe was there. What Kobe wanted to do. What he wanted to do was some next level stuff that even Deuce Douglas didn't even touch. So this is what I'm saying. These guys brought stuff to the table, and I know they were told, nah, you can't do that. Nah, you can't do that. Nah, you can't do that. Why bring a guy from MLB The Show that was able to do the in-depth stuff in MLB The Show, and then you can't do it in NFL Madden? Oh, we're just going to have you there to do the UI design. UI design, man, let this man work. And they ain't let him work. That's why my man left.
It's the reason, too.
That's why he left. That's why Rex left. This is why these guys end up leaving.
If you pay attention, y'all remember when Rex used to always say NCAA 14 was his favorite game?
Yeah.
He always said, I don't think we made a game like that yet. That was including Madden. Rex used to tell you stuff in plain sight, man. That's the funniest thing. But that player code thing, listen, I lie to y'all not. I'm trying to get the year right. This was like the first couple times I went to LA. This was like E3. This wasn't even EA Play. And I'll never forget it. He was like, we can either do this or we can do that. I was like, man, look, that player likeness thing, that's got to happen. That has to happen. And like Smitty said, to the degree to where, I mean, it was going to be individual animation, all of that. It was going to be pure player likeness. But you got to remember, way back then, there was a whole lot that needed to be done in the game.
Yeah.
But this was the kind of, and the reason why I'm saying that is this is the kind of decisions that they are hit with. So you have people above them saying, well, you can't do all three of them things. You could do one of those. So then from a dev standpoint, they got to figure out, all right, out of these, what can we do and do well in this amount of time and it's going to be successful? Which one is the most efficient, a good feature, and yada, yada, yada. again, hence the other thing that I told y'all about 10 minutes ago, the other feature that had a prototype. This is why the dev told me we ain't got enough people to finish. Oh, y'all know when it was? That was for 18. Because that was the Frostbite year. Sure enough was. Because they didn't have enough devs to finish it because everybody was working on Frostbite. So again, man, it's so crazy how the perspective that we have, Natural has, E-Ray, it's so different, man, because we've seen it from a different lens. But even with that said, I'm tired of it, man. Again, that ain't a shot at the people that I respect it. It's just as a gamer, I'm tired of dealing with this. Can I just get a football game that's great or extremely solid? I will accept that. And again, shout outs to my guy in here, Sim Gaming Network. He's recently playing the revamp NCAA. I might download it and play it a little bit, but I've told y'all before, like the older games can't hold my attention for long because they're the older games. They definitely look better with the revamp. And tremendous shout out to guys, all of them dudes who do that stuff, Raid Sports, all of them. But it's just, I'm over here trying to give feedback on Undisputed.
Right.
I ain't playing no game from 10 years ago. I can't, fidelity wise, I just can't even call me Shallow Hal when it comes to video games now. Yeah, I'm a graphics dude too now. I need both. I need all of that. You know what I'm saying? So
let me just sidebar this real quick because I see you talking about the Frostbite thing. Let me make this part clear. I'm not going to sit up here and blame it 100% and say Frostbite's the problem because you got Mike Straw, and even though it's a personal opinion, we respect a guy like Mike Straw's word, and he's saying when you're able to sit up there and say NHL 23 is the best sports game out, and remember the trailers from last year. Well, I'll say even the past 2 years of NHL coming out, all the improvements and refinements that were done on their game was on Frostbite. So I can't sit up here and say that the Frostbite engine, oh, that's what the problem is. It's the Frostbite tech. No, it's not the Frostbite tech. You got to let the devs be able to do the work. That's it at the end of the day. We've told y'all that. Many people back then said we trying to protect devs. No, this is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like I made the example before with the restaurant, and I said you can have Gordon Ramsay, Rachel Ray, Emerald Lagasse, Wolfgang Puck, all them cats in one McDonald's. And they could pull all their resources and make the bangest Big Mac and the best fries and the best breakfast sandwiches and all the above. Guess what? Corporate heads at McDonald's going to be like, what y'all doing? Man, our operation costs through the roof. Yeah, but we got lines all the way down the street because they want our food. The quality is on point. Man, you better do the same thing that Susie, Timmy, and them that's 14, 15 years old up here doing right now. Get them patties, get the generic patties, get them frozen fries, you know what I'm saying? Get that generic grease, you know what I'm saying? And y'all better be flipping them things the way that we say do it. And guess what they got to do? They got to do exactly that, regardless of their reputation. That's what they have to do. And that's just the reality of it. It sucks, but that's it. So then when you say, Rex Dixon, man, we trying to get Vince Wilfork working in the building. All Vince gonna be doing is walking around there with an EA badge on. He ain't gonna have no pull. At the end of the day, he gonna have to fall in line like everybody else. When Moonlit Swami, when he was working there, what did he do to make franchise better in a huge way? Nothing. He came in and saying, I got to connect to Idaho. I can get you the freshest potatoes and we can cut them things up and we can serve the freshest fries. Man, you better go ahead and get them generic boys. And guess what he went? He had to go get them generic boys and threw them boys in that generic grease. Deuce Douglas is in the building right now. He in the same protocol. He under that generic
He
protocol.
took his
I'm
document
telling
with
you.
him,
Yeah, exactly right. You know what I'm saying?
right on
It's
his
like,
hard drive.
yeah. If
uh,
if EA does not, if the executives, the bosses, whatever, if they don't let these cats do the work, it ain't gonna matter. Blaming Clint ain't gonna mean nothing. I mean, yes, there's a level of accountability on them, but blaming them in totality ain't gonna mean squat because it ain't them. It's the folk above them that are the ones telling them you can't do X.
yeah.
And that's just it. That's what
why
the
this
reality
rumor,
is.
that's why this true rumor from Mike Straw is interesting.
Yeah, it is. But we don't know if there's real and like I said, it's just the irony of it all because
Yeah, it's
their
crazy.
jobs have been called for 10 trillion times. And now all the emergency downtimes, all the break fix issues, all the catastrophic things that have happened over the years, all the false hopes and promises, all the unfulfillment. Now, all of a sudden, Madden 24, if they don't get this one right, those heads are going to roll. Yeah, okay. So I'm not saying that, and I seriously hope that's the case because I know E-Ray said the same thing. It could be the NFL is looking at it and saying, "Hey, yo," like the NFL is finally coming around and saying, "Hey, yo, how come the NBA getting all?" I mean, if Roger Goodell or somebody could have been at AllStar Weekend. Remember
Yeah.
Adam Silver said, "Hey, man, yo, this 2K money looking right." Like, I'm gonna wait. What numbers y'all doing?
Yeah.
That's off the microtrans. How come we ain't getting that kind of money, man? What's going on? And then now they like, uh, hey yo, get Andrew Wilson on the phone right now. Like, hey
Yeah,
yo, man, what y'all? Why? How come we ain't seeing this bread that 2K seeing right now? What's the deal with all that? And you know what I'm saying? So it's like 2K. You may be the only product there, but look at what 2K is doing versus you. That's the whole thing. And 2K ain't got nobody there to stop them either. But yet they still keep pouring in more and more and more into their product every single year. Madden hasn't. And when we play it and we see the little subtleties, like we said when the beta came out, we're like, yo, hey, we actually are liking this. And then it gets just snatched straight out. And now we're back to playing a game. We're sitting up here and playing NCAA football 14. My man Sim Gaming Network. We're playing NCAA 14, celebrating subtleties that should be there already. That are in NFL 2K5, that are in All Pro Football, but those games came out over a decade plus.
It's embarrassing, dog.
Yeah, and we're celebrating subtle things. Oh man, they got this and that and this and that and da 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 da. And that's cool, but EA should have had it. And that's the whole point. That's why when you put out a blog, it's like, and I mean, it ain't got nothing to do with Mike Straw. It's 100% just EA. It's like, so heads are gonna roll, and you know what I mean? And just like what Soft Drink said with his video, well, at least EA is finally doing something with it. And it's like that's the whole point. That same tagline is always said whenever it seems like EA is going to do something. You know what I mean? And we'll see what ends up happening. And yes, all football games have massive issues without question. No one's saying that 2K made the perfect game or anything like that. It's just without cheesing, without cheating, without all that stuff. You can look at PS2 and Xbox Madden, NFL 2K5 and All Pro Football, and they serve up a solid game of football that's very palatable, but it should not be even close to palatable today.
Nah,
And
dog.
that's the point. I still can Sim. Weekly preparation. Does Madden 23 have NFL 2K5 beat? No.
Not whatsoever.
Does it even have Madden 05 beat? No.
No.
Do we have player icons to really distinguish different player types and things like that better in Madden 23 than what we had done back in Madden 07 or 08 on
That would be
PS2 and Xbox?
negativo.
That's my point. So it's not even about the cheese and the glitchy and the exploits and the flaws. We're just saying, just a general standpoint. We don't even have a solid game like that. Even now, that's the problem. That's why it's such a glaring issue. I wouldn't do your online cheese all day. Play your comp modes and everything and have fun with it. Let me be able to be offline and I got my sandbox. NBA 2K, they give us a sandbox. NHL 23, they give us a sandbox. FIFA, sandbox. PES, this boxing game, when they open up more stuff to it, we're going to have our own sandbox.
Yeah, that game going to be dope.
Yeah, and that's the point. Simulation, replicating the sport properly. Does it have every single rule and everything in it? No, not necessarily. But it still gives us a good, sound, representable game that we can really get down on and have fun with. I can't say that about Madden 23. Every time they try to take a half step forward, they got to take 5 back. And part of it's because of the community. Whining and complaining. Oh, but it's just, no. It's bad enough you got the bosses on top of them telling them what they can and cannot do and limiting them already. But then you got community guys that don't want to handle it either. It's like, dang, well, what the heck is going on here? So, like, that's why I love my NBA 2K. And I play that and I enjoy the mods, the ATD rosters, my man Sim Gaming Network with his sliders.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That 2K got me. Yeah, I'm on that right now.
Yeah, and but see, you wouldn't have that if you didn't have a sandbox that you could build. Oh yeah, you could go ahead and edit everything. Oh yeah, you could tweak this and tweak that, and we added all this stuff this year too, so you could even have more fun in your sandbox. That's my whole point. That's it. The company is giving you the sandbox, and go have fun with it. You want things to be more strict? Yeah, go online. We still got stuff. You got various things you could touch as a solo player, but if you want to dabble in that online water, go in that online water. But we got all this offline stuff for you. What we got in Madden? Nothing. Oh, and it's a live service, man. Like, man, go ahead, Sim. I'm sorry. I've been just going. Go ahead, bro.
Nah, you good. I'm just gonna say that's the thing. It's like people used to always laugh when I say the game is so close but so far away. Because they are at the point in Madden 23 where if you just listen, this is to me what would make Madden 100 times better. I told y'all, where I will give them credit up until now was 2 things, but player movement is like that right now. I cannot deny that. The way you can control the ball carry and all that, player movement is smooth. Where you can play. Remember, it was a time where we was complaining about foot planting. That ain't the case no more. I like freeform passing. Phenomenal addition.
Here's what I found.
And yeah, Siri seems to like it too. Freeform passing was a phenomenal addition. It was better than target passing. Target passing was a good idea that just didn't execute well. I think freeform passing executes way better. I've been able to place that ball in positions that I never imagined. And when you pull it off, oh boy. But let's go back to what NY Kia said earlier. Just make sure all of your defensive concepts work. Work. What I mean by work is play out the way they're designed. I'm not asking every corner to make every pick, every linebacker to stop every hook, anything that comes in the hook curl area. I'm not asking my deep safeties to pick everything up. No, there's parity. There's some players who are better than others. There's some players who are more aware. There's some players who are just going to get beat. We've all seen it happen amongst our real NFL teams. There's always holes in the zone, but make it a chess match. Don't make it like I have on the screen here. Thank you, Michael Charles Marsh. Don't have the meta that everybody knows they could just run this and this is going to work. That is horrible. Make the defensive concepts work the way they're intended to work. And then how about we add a little AI on top of that so they don't just cover grass? Can we at least program defenders to look for work? Okay, nothing is in my area. Where can I help out? Again, I'm not saying this is easy. I don't know programming. I don't know AI. I'm just saying in 2023, you should be able to do that. 2K has the ACE system. Come on, man. Backbreaker had, I forgot what they called it, some type of form or something that the AI would just react on the fly. Come on, man.
Yeah, it's just form.
That's the form. Yeah. Form. Yep. It's so can we get that? Can we get rid of all of these? You got rid of some, but can we start taking away all of the 2-man force sequences, please? Force sequences. Get rid of them, especially in the trenches. Can we make physics matter at all times? Matter of fact, hold on. I ain't even got to go that far. I'm going to read something to you guys that I sent to my man Goo. Shout outs to my man Goo, who's now working on Maximum Football. He's going to be the community manager. He put out a post and he said, hey, when you hear the word sim, what does it mean to you? So I'm going to read to y'all what I wrote to him. And I might have missed a couple things, but this is the gist of it. And if Madden did this, I don't think we even sitting here having this conversation. I wrote here, weight, momentum, physics, leverage, physical stature, relative positioning, all have to be considered to produce the outcome of a play. And of course, the big one, AI, adaptive AI on both sides of the ball. I also said sim should also include immersive presentation and franchise depth. That's also a part of being a sim. You're simulating an NFL season. So it should have full depth, full contract restructures, guys holding out, all of these, all of the things you can think about. Head coach 09.
Facts.
That's it.
Yep.
If Madden was that, we're not even sitting here talking. Like we tired of having this. That's what I'm saying. I'm at the point now where I don't even care. I'm tired of doing this, man. I got so many other games that I have fun with. But that's it. That's all they have to do. From a gameplay standpoint is what I just said there. Give us some real presentation, franchise depth. And even like Smitty said, if it has to just be an online thing, okay. All right. I hate that to be the case. Because see what happens when you play a user, all that relative position and stuff don't matter. All they got to do is be within a certain range and they can still twitch and move. And that's not real. Like, even with that, if you just make it to where if you're not looking at the ball, you can't make a play on it. That should apply with user input as well. What I mean by that is you should be able to program a game to where if I'm playing Smitty and Smitty catches me peeking in the backfield and he throws a fly pattern and my DB is chasing, Smitty has 3-4 steps on me. I shouldn't be able to just click on it. It don't work like that. I shouldn't be able to get to that ball. If I press that button with my back turned, the most that should happen is this. But I can't see the ball.
Right.
Little stuff like that is what kills the immersion in the game, man. Or, again, I've been saying this for years, in the trenches. How many times have you seen it, in real football, defensive line, whoever's being blocked, but I'm going to just say defensive lineman, whoever is being blocked are usually tracking the ball. That's how they know which way to shed. They don't just be like this. The running back is over here and they just still dealing with him.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the two-man sequences. There's no like organic interactions in the trenches. I know it's hard. I get it, guys. I know it's got to be extremely hard to program the stuff that we're saying, but there has to be a better way than to make it just go whoop.
But you know what? Backbreaker did it best. When the game first came out, no patches, no updates, none of that stuff. If you had a strong side or a weaker side form, if the left side of your line had weak form or low, their form was down, but the right side of your line was strong, you got to make sure you play to the right side. Because if you expecting that left to hold up, especially if the D lineman lined up against them is in average to good form, you in trouble. But the thing is, they're going to organically get in there. The only problem with Backbreaker was you didn't have the animation library driving behind it. That's it. But it was, I mean, they had animations, but it was too bare bones. So it had animation.
That AI was
the way it worked was all fluid in terms of how they flowed. The angular positioning mattered a whole heck of a lot. Madden should have it. That's the bottom line. FIFA has it. NHL has it. I can't give you the pass. And yes, it took Backbreaker 3 years to get that game out with their dev team. EA could do it once again. Gordon Ramsay wants to get this grade of burger. That McDonald's order came down so quick. I saw these operation costs. What you doing? Man, you better go ahead and get them generic patties. That's it. That's it.
It's a shame, man.
And you know it. You know full dang on you, Sim, you, SGO, NY Kia, freaking E-Ray. All y'all cats know dang on well. Y'all could be in that building one day and stand in front of A-Dub. You telling me this is the best that we can have?
Yeah, right.
Standing in front of him, this is the best we could get. Come on, dog. Like, we know full freaking well what really can be done with this game. There's too much talent in that building for the game we're getting.
Smitty knows. There's another guy that we love dearly. And we're not even talking about A-Dub in this case, but he also knows a little thing about defense. This dude told us years ago that he wanted to get the game to a point where each corner is playing cover 2 differently. They have their own technique, how they choose to line up and hand. I was like, dog, you killing me with this. He said, that's where we need to be. And I'm like, so that's when we tell y'all it's certain guys. Again, we ain't been there in years, but it's certain guys when we were rocking, they was football dudes, man. They know, even when Vic Lugo was there, Vic knew what type of stuff needed to be in a physical game and how to design it. They knew. Can you imagine? I mean, that's football. Can you imagine having now you really have to, now you go into the draft and try to figure out, all right, how does this dude play? Like, even little stuff. I even gave these ideas before, which again, a lot of the ideas we give them, they already know. I'm like, yo, we need to have ratings where this corner is good on intermediate routes, but he's suspect in man because pivot routes eat him up. Stuff like that. Like how deep you could get real analysis, and then you really could use your roster. You can use this guy. You know what? I got NY Kia this week. I got to play against, man, I know he likes to run streaks, You know what? I'm going to get my man on this guy who's great at press. Yeah. And if he catch me with anything else, I'm toast. But if I think you should be able to do that. Now, I'm not saying it's going to work every time, but it should be that granular at this point, man, where you have skill position, like a guy, all right, this is my man. He's a slot corner. I'm putting him in the slot. Not outside, but I can put him in here and he's going to do what I need him to do. It don't exist in Madden.
So I said, you could do it in NBA 2K. You should be able to do it in Madden at this point. You can play defense. You can legitimate, and I gotta shout out my man. What's the name? Jersey. I think it's Jersey Mike. I think it is, if I'm not mistaken, on Twitter. He literally does videos where he's showing you how to play defense, legit defense against other users, not no cheese and all that exploit. Legit defense, getting his block timing right, going for steals the right way, all that. 2K didn't always have it there like that. They had to build it out year by year, inch by inch. It got better and better and better, and it improved. And now they have it where you can play adequately. Everything you're saying, Sim, we should be able to do that in Madden. Madden should be there. But see, if we say it now, oh man, I don't know, man, because that's going kind of far out. And it's like, but that's not going far out. That's football.
It's football, man.
That's what I'm saying. That's football. All Sim is saying is football. I want to match up against Kia legitimate. What we see on a pregame on Sunday when your local news commentators, mine, everybody that's listening here, along with the national broadcast, this is what they do. Man. Yeah, so-and-so plays, da-da-da-da. You're going to hear it starting Tuesday with the Combine. And you're going to hear how they talk about these guys and how they play and how they do this and how they do. And now, but then when we say it needs to happen in Madden, I don't know about that one. That's kind of deep right there. It's like,
okay, and every now and then, you mess around and play somebody who, like, that's why when me and Azure play is always a phenomenal game, man. Neither one of us trying to cheese each other. We ain't focused on no meta.
Right.
But you should be able to legitimately win or lose a game because of scheme, like a real scheme. Yeah. Y'all watched the Super Bowl, right? Kansas City, why did they win that game? They utilized the Eagles staying in man and not making any adjustments. And they literally ran the same. The third time they ran it, they didn't score, but they got a holding call on Juju. They scored twice on the same play. Once on the right side, once on the left side. Once with Sky Moore, the other time was with Tony. They tried to run it again down there with Juju, and then he got held. Because they utilized, the Eagles, they stay in man. That's what they do. They built their secondary like that, and they didn't adjust. And what I'm saying is, how many times have you played Madden and you felt like somebody out-schemed you from a football standpoint as opposed to just using the meta, and now you're figuring out how to stop the meta? Mm-hmm. It's ridiculous. And don't get me wrong, here's the thing. I've always been conflicted as a sim gamer when it comes to Madden because we try to create all these rules and all that. But some of the stuff we create rules against, they do in the real NFL. I have been a witness of watching the Steelers run the same play over and over. That happens sometimes in football because it's working. It's called my man's beating your man. Y'all can't stop this today. I always tell this story, and I used to tell Azure, and we have a laugh about it. Some years back, we was in Tennessee, and Le'Veon Bell ran for 206 yards that night. And their defense, you can hear them on camera saying, it's the same play. It's the same play. They couldn't stop it. They could not stop it. We ran power over and over and over. They couldn't stop it. And that was just our offensive line was better than their D-line at that moment. So when people say, man, you're running the same play over and over, well, they do that in the NFL too. Mm-hmm. You see the Eagles run a lot of the same, but in Madden, it's like it doesn't replicate itself properly for us to I don't know, man. It just never, like I said, if those things that I talked about a few moments ago were in the game where you really felt like all of those things determined the outcome and weight and momentum, and then we wouldn't complain about that. you would just
Right.
accept the fact that, man, I got a weak front. Smitty just running down my throat. I can't stop him. And as soon as I commit everybody in the box, he going over the top. That's football.
Yeah.
But it's not because there's an exploit that I'm taking advantage of against the AI. Like, I don't know, man.
So, I organically exploited you. You can't say that about Madden right now. You can't say that at all. I organically exploited you. I could do that in FIFA. I could do that in NHL, but I can't do it in Madden. Your personnel on NHL that you got on the ice aren't as great as defensive, but you have more finesse. So you may have faster skaters than I have. You may be able to outspeed me in sometimes, but you got to get past my defenders. If you get past them, then you could get by. Like, that's an organic exploit. And you don't have that.
Yeah, and honestly, with what you're saying, Tony Chase, too, you said we're getting into the competitive versus sim gameplay, gray area now. I agree, though. Yeah, because it's like this. Y'all have always heard me say, look, man, I'm not going to take away from what the comp guys do. They playing for money. And you think I wouldn't exploit something? Why not? I mean, it's a video game. But my thing is, I do believe some of the best competitive guys would be great playing real football. Some of these dudes that I knew and met, like, oh no, they know football. Let me tell you, like a guy like Zan can play with the competitive, but Zan will bust your head open, sim wise, because he knows football. Our good buddy Kia could go out there and play in mud if he wants to, just play around. But you're gonna be hard pressed, like, to find many people that Kia wouldn't be able to go toe to toe with. Football concept wise, it's going to be a tough outing for anybody playing him because he knows football. So what needs to happen in that case is my team needs to be better than like maybe I can take advantage of a certain spot on his team and I stick to that. But it ain't gonna be so much that I'm just outsmarting him because, like, nah, he's accounting for this, and that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's tough because it's a video game. I get it. Because, like I said, we've all watched our team on Sunday, unless y'all are the Chiefs fans. But even there was games when you thought they couldn't do nothing right. We've all seen guys blow coverage. We've all seen missed blocks and all that. It all happens. That's why anytime I do feedback and a breakdown video for Madden, I always say, I'm not saying this was supposed to work. I'm just saying I need to see these dudes react in a fashion in which someone really would react, whether they're too slow to get there or not. Don't just stand there like you don't see nothing. Then all of a sudden, here the guy comes running beside you. Now you want to, what is that?
Right.
It's just not real. Like, it's just, I don't know, man.
Yeah. But see,
it's sad.
I'll just say this one last thing, FIFA, even though the tournament stuff and metas and etc. and all that stuff, I get it. And all these guys that compete, I'm pretty sure all the games they play have metas to some degree. I don't know about FIFA like that, but I will say this. In FIFA has a wide open sandbox on the tournament stage where they got all the penalties. They have all the controls, all the everything. So you can do the trick moves, you can do all that. Excuse me. There have been tournaments where people will lose multiple players due to red cards and still got to play. The sandbox is there, and the gameplay is organic enough to be loose like that. So it can be done with Madden. They just have to do it. They just got to do it and leave it there, though. It can't be, well, we're gonna water it down and we're not gonna have the penalties for the comp guys because no. They have to live through it. Have them play through it because it's football at the end of the day. And like you said, Dubby, Zan, Problem, Skimbo, all them cats. those guys all have high football IQs. So they also, it would be great to see those guys out execute each other in terms of
Yeah.
football. Now you're looking at the tournament scene in a whole different way, because now it's about football and the personnel you have. Not he's 99 overall and he got this superstar ability. Who gives a care about that part?
And they be trying to get certain animations to trigger.
Yeah, exactly. That stuff too. It's like, no, man.
Come on,
Come
man.
on. Like, if
Y'all
you
got to
bust
stop,
somebody,
bro.
you bust them. I saw that in the FIFA tournament. Dude shook the socks out of shook dude out his socks. Dude tried to D him up, and he pulled off a trick move, and he faked him out. He broke his ankles off the organic. It wasn't did he trigger the animation? No, he thought he was going left and he went right. That's it. And he had to hold it. My man got embarrassed. It's like, that's what happens though. You tried to predict something, you got busted. There was no animation net to fall on and say, oh, well, at least I got suctioned into this anim. Haha, I got you. No, there was no bailout. And that's what these games should be. You know what I'm saying? You could put your best team together, but if I out scheme you, then that's it at the end of the day. I out schemed you. Boom. So
yeah, guys.
I digress.
There's nothing else left to talk about.
Yeah.
He said, I'm a big football guy. I will always go with Sim at the end of the day. A calculated Sim football match can be competitive by nature. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, that's all we got for tonight, folks. I'm at my capacity as far as talking about Madden. So hopefully there's more important, intriguing news to get into next week.
Yeah.
Like I said, with the maximum football thing, man, I think it's, we'll wait until they have the early access out and we get our hands on it. I would just say, man, if it's free, it don't hurt any of y'all to play, man. Play it and just give feedback. Don't go into it judging it, looking for it to be the best game ever. It's still an indie company. They have bigger backing now, but give them the feedback. At least they're another game that's going for simulation. It may not look the prettiest at times. It may not animate the prettiest at times, but look at where it is now from where it was before. So that's all I'm doing, man, is, occupying my time elsewhere with other games. I play Madden here and there for however long I can stomach it, and then I do something else. And we're on a wait and see. That's all. That's where I'm at with it now. I have no expectations for it. It's just a wait and see. That's it. So somebody just came in. Yeah, man, you could go back. I'm not saying this disrespectfully, but we're about to end the show. I was gonna say you could go back and watch the rewatch, the replay. But we're basically saying, there was rumors that came out saying, a good leak came out saying that internally, some of the people who manage the game of Madden could potentially have their jobs at stake if Madden 24 suffers the same type of, I guess, the same issues that Madden 23 had. And I would assume also if the product isn't up to par. So to me, that means game itself and the way the game functions. So that's why we're saying, is it do or die for Madden 24? And do you believe that? Is that really the case? And I don't know. I hope so, man. I hope there's really some pressure. I hope 2K applied the pressure. I hope somebody is threatening those who control what they decide to invest in when it comes to Madden. And maybe we could get a game that everybody respects. Well, we'll see. I don't know. But all right, man, we appreciate y'all watching. Have a great night. Enjoy your weekend. Stay safe. God bless. And that's all for us. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
Peace. Oh, dang. Sam, you just jumped off. Oh well.